Hello everybody, my name is Rainer and welcome back. So first and foremost, alright, this week we had a live trading webinar and I want to say thank you for those who actually participated because I actually had a good time, I had a great time with all of you boys and girls, alright, we interacted, you asked questions and I did my best to answer all of your questions and I hope I really did answer your questions because if I happen not to answer your questions, feel free to drop me an email at tradingwithrainer@gmail.com and I'll get back to you. And oh yeah, today is Mother's Day. So to all mothers out there watching this video, happy Mother's Day. And this week, right, on this week's market analysis, I'd like to talk a little bit on why we should not focus on the outcome on a particular trade, but rather we should actually focus on doing one good trade, and one good trade. And do not be, too affected by just the random outcome of one particular trade. So all this and more in this week's market analysis, and I'll see you there. Okay, this is the chart of NL25. NL25 stands for Netherlands 25, and if I'm not wrong, it is the indices for Netherlands. So, okay, that aside, right, that's irrelevant what product this is. Looking at the weekly chart, you see that price is making higher highs and higher lows. You can see all the higher highs, over here where price traded higher. Then you see this steep parabolic move towards the upside. So I was actually bullish on this particular product and I was looking to get long for quite some time. And there was an opportunity to get long this week and let me show you where it was. Looking at the daily chart, I was looking at this key level because to me it was the last line of defense, this support area. Right? To me this is the last line of defense, and because if price does break below this support, the next key level to look out for will be this previous resistance, then support. So by the time if price does manage to come all the way back to this level, the chart will look pretty ugly to me, right? The uptrend would seem that it's weakening and I would have no intention to get long on this daily chart anymore. So to me, where the last line of defense was actually this area, this zone I've highlighted. So I like this zone a lot. And I can tell you that I missed this trade completely because I was complacent. I did not put in my orders in time in the market and the price simply just rallied without me. So my complacency paid the price this time around. So originally what my plan was this. This was the support area that I've highlighted. I wanted to queue into this support area over here and have a stop loss of 2 ATR, which is somewhere over here. This would be my stop loss. That was my original plan. And again, like I've said, I was complacent. I did not put in my order in the markets. Price then did this false breakout towards the downside. Then it rallied higher. So this managed to fake out a lot of traders who got caught short, who traded the breakout towards the downside. It also captured all the stops who traders place their stop loss just below this swing low and below this swing low. So to me, when this price action occurred, I think it is a bullish setup if you ask me. But by now, price is already trading at this high over here. And if you ask me, it's really too late to catch this move. Price is already trading at this high over here. So if you want to get long, you're longing into the middle of this range, which don't really make much of a sense. And from a risk to reward perspective, it's not favorable. So this is a trade I missed, and just to share with you guys about it. So it's a lesson for me and maybe for you guys as well, not to be complacent. If you identify a level you really like, you identify a setup, you can always place your orders in advance and let the market come to you. Because that's what I do most of the time. And I'm surprised, this time around I did not get my orders in. So it's something that I have to pay the price and have to face it. So life goes on. No point dwelling so much about it. And I hope you guys can learn something from this. So moving on, this is the chart of the Euro Dollar weekly. And this is actually a little opposite from NL25, which you saw earlier. It was a bullish weekly chart, and this is the bearish weekly chart of Euro Dollar. And as you know, I actually went short on this daily chart over here, at this resistance over here. Why did I do that? Because to me, it was the last line of defense, and it's actually the same setup as the NL25, only that this time around, it is towards the bear side, it's towards the downside. So I got short at resistance, and I got stopped out my trade this week when price traded higher. So as you can see from these two trades, same trading setups, but one is clearly in the money, and one got me stopped out for a loss. And this is my point. As a trader, we should not focus on the random outcome on any one trade. Right? Do not focus on the random outcome of any one trade. Instead, focus on making one good trade, and one good trade, because that is key. Because we are dealing with the law of large numbers, whereby your edge only comes into play when you are executing enough trades, right? The next 100 trades, the next 1,000 trades. That's how your edge comes into play. Your edge is not present based on just an outcome of one trade. There is no edge. And in fact, the outcome of one trade is as good as random. So I would say, do not be affected by the outcome of any one trade. Look at the big picture. Look at the next 100 trades. Look at the next 1000 trades. Execute your trades consistently and you'll know whether you have an edge in the markets. So this is a perfect example to highlight to you that, two identical trading setups, one towards the long side, one towards the short side, and one is in the money and one got stopped out. So this is key and something that you have to realize. So next, I'd like to share with you a particular trading setup by my friend Gary. He went long the pound yen and I thought it was a brilliant setup. So let me share with you why. So look at the chart of pound yen. This is the weekly chart and you can see price making higher highs and higher lows. Right, we have higher highs over here, higher highs, higher highs, higher highs, higher highs, and higher highs. And you see price respecting both the 20 and 50 period moving average as well. Red is the 20 EMA and the blue is the 50 EMA. So it's very clear that the trend is intact from a weekly perspective. So looking down at the daily chart, here is where my friend Gary got long. So this was the area I'll say this was the support area, right? 176. And he got long on this bullish pin bar over here. I thought it was a great setup. Not that because it is a winning trade, but rather looking at the context of the market, looking at where he got long, I thought it was a good setup. And furthermore, this bullish pin bar carries more weightage. Why is that? Because it traded below the low of this swing low over here. And at this swing low over here, I can tell you that there will be traders looking to trade short towards the downside. They will be looking to trade a short breakout. So what they'll do is they perhaps place a sell stop below this low here and trade a breakout scenario towards the downside. So what happened is that price did trade lower. We have this pin bar. It traded lower. And after which, it closed higher over here. So what's the market telling you? Number one, you have a trend. You are in tune with the longer term trend. Number two, sellers are trapped. They are trapped. Those who trade the breakout towards the downside, they are trapped. I wanted to put ED here, but I think there's no space for the ED. So okay, maybe I'll squeeze in the ED. Sellers are trapped. So the market is telling you that, now the path of least resistance is towards the upside. Why is that? Because it tried to attempt a breakout towards the downside. And as price traded lower, there isn't any more selling coming in to push price lower. What happened was the buyers came in and pushed price higher instead and closed higher for the day, formed by this bullish pin bar over here, right? This bullish pin bar. I think I've highlighted 3 times. So this is a strong, clear message. You are with the trend. Sellers are trapped. As well as, the path of least resistance is now towards the upside, since sellers couldn't push price any lower. So I believe my friend Gary got long on this pin bar. And I think the stop was just below the low of the pin bar, if I'm not wrong. So I believe he had 2 take profit target. I believe the first was, I think, if I'm not wrong again, it was here, and the final one was over here. So it was a winning trade for him, and I thought this is a good trade. So it's just something to share with you guys. For those who trade price action trading, this is something that you could actually, I would say, look at, understand, and use it to your advantage. So in trading, right, there are many methods to trade. There are trend following, you have price action, you have indicators. So you have to find something that suits you. There is no right or wrong method of trading out there, but rather you have to be comfortable. You have to understand the tools that you're using before you can, be consistently profitable. There's no point knowing so much TA out there, but you can't use it or apply it in your favor. So yeah, just something to share with you. So another thing I'm looking at is the chart of copper. This is the weekly chart of copper. And you see that price has been respecting the 20 and 50 EMA as well. But you see a false breakout towards the upside 1 time, 2 time. So no surprise again, the 3rd time price did a false breakout as well. So one thing to note is that price is coming into this key support area over here. So if you attended my webinar, you know that when I draw support and resistance, to me it's never a fixed line in the chart. It's always an area. So to me, I think this is a pretty good area. And looking at the daily chart, you notice one thing. You see that we have this break of support area, then price traded lower, retest, support become resistance, price then traded lower, then it retest higher once more at the resistance area, traded lower, and right now it's retesting this resistance area once more. So again, this particular chart setup is showing you something similar as the pound yen as well. Look at this, alright, this wicks over here, right? Price attempted to trade the breakout higher, but it couldn't. So right now it's consolidating over here. So right now, the sellers are trapped. Those who the buyers are trapped. Those who went long are in the red right now because it was a false breakout, and I'm guessing their stop loss will be somewhere around here. So sellers who now wants to attempt to sell this market will chances are put their stop loss above the wick, which is over here. So price is at an inflection point right now. You have buyers and sellers. So which way it's going to go, I do not know. But whether you want to be on the buy side or the sell side, you have to know one thing. You have to know that you could be wrong. And you always need to have a price of getting out of the market if you're wrong. So this is something to bear in mind and to share with you. So if you ask me where is price going from here, honestly, I do not know. I know that the weekly trend is favored towards the downside. So there could be a possibility of price trading lower in the coming weeks. So this is something I can't predict, and it's something to watch and to see what happens. So I think that's all I have for you guys this week, alright? Because I'm sharing with you a little bit more of a trading review, reflection, as well as trades by other traders. And the main reason is I don't really see much trend following setups that I always take in the markets. The markets, honestly, for me trading the 4-hour and daily hasn't really been too favorable. So I decided to share something else instead, which could be useful for you guys. So that's all I have for you guys this week. I hope you find it useful, because if you do, you can feel free to hit the subscribe button below. And with that, I wish you guys good luck and good trading. I'll talk to you soon.